What I'm about to tell you is extremely important and will definitely shock the life out of you.
My name is Aaron, and I'm here to reveal my secret hypnotic suggestions
that will mesmerize any man to the point of insanity and flood his body with feelings of intense love for you. In fact, I'd like you to join me in a little experiment. First, choose a man, any man. It could be a man you've been eyeing for a while, could be someone you're already with, or maybe even someone who left or rejected you in the past.
Casually use my weird but terribly effective hypnotic suggestions while talking to him, and then wait.
At first, absolutely nothing will happen. But as he will go about his day,
these suggestions will crawl deeper and deeper into his brain, and a bunch of new ideas and feelings will grow inside him and rapidly intensify.
Then suddenly, he will find his attention and energy strongly drawn to thoughts of you. Almost immediately, he will find you so attractive, so intriguing, and so tempting that he will wish to capture you with a fierceness that he has never known before. Which means that man you've been eyeing for a while will instantly have an almighty crush on you and will express how lucky he feels to have someone as smart, caring, and gorgeous as you around him. That man who wasn't ready to marry you will now tell you that he can't have enough of you and never wants to be able to have enough because he needs you to be his wife and will be unable to wait even one more day. The man who left you for someone else will now think about you morning, noon, and night and will anxiously need you back. And that cold husband or boyfriend will become so hungry for your love that every morning his only thought will be how many times he would get to hug or kiss you in the day ahead. I know this probably sounds like a big joke to you, and honestly, it sounded like a big joke to me as well when I first heard it. But I was forced to turn into a believer when I saw the power of these in action.
Here's the story, and it's about my friend Eric, who used to be a shameless ladies' man. Standing at 6 feet 2 inches, he looked nothing less than a Greek god with dimples and bulging biceps. He openly used his looks and charm to seduce woman after woman without regret or shame. He was very cocky in his ability to show the ladies a good time and broke many hearts. I secretly knew that he didn't believe in love at all and had no intention of getting serious with any woman. But all that changed when I got the biggest shock of my life. It was late Friday evening when I suddenly heard a frantic knock on my door. The moment I opened the door, I saw Eric standing in front of me like I had never seen him before. He had tears rolling down his cheeks, and before I could even ask him what's wrong, he walked past me, turned around and said, "I love her." "Is this a joke, Eric?" I asked in a very demanding tone. "No, I really love her," he replied convincingly. Over the next few hours, he explained everything. He told me how he recently met this wonderful woman named Elaine and was absolutely convinced that she was the one for him and wanted her as his wife. I honestly didn't know how to react. Was this the same Eric I knew? Is this even the same guy? But just as I was thinking this, he dropped another bomb. He casually said that he had known this woman for only a week and was so addicted to her that he couldn't go without seeing her face or hearing her voice at least 2 to 3 times a day. Since he knew I was a relationship expert, he came to seek my advice on what to do next. Eager to know who this special woman was, I asked Eric to introduce me to her. I'll be honest, after seeing how love-struck Eric was, I weirdly expected this woman to look like one of those alluring supermodels, almost like she had just stepped out of a Vogue magazine.
But surprisingly enough, when I finally saw her, I discovered that she was a 49-year-old divorced mother of 2. She had curly brown hair, wore thick glasses, and had this severe expression on her face which made her look slightly angry. But honestly, I couldn't find anything unusually extraordinary or appealing about her.
But it all changed the moment she started to speak. As her words entered my ears, I felt something shift inside me and found myself enthralled to the max, engaging with this woman in one deeply stimulating conversation after another. Needless to say, it only took a few seconds for this woman to impress me, and any idea of what she looked like quickly went out the window. And she did it in such a way that I secretly wished to have her as my girlfriend. But everything aside, even a bigger question was swirling around my head. How is she doing it? I asked myself. I didn't say anything about it then, but exchanged numbers with her and called her day and night over the next few weeks, begging her to share her secrets. I kept pestering her over and over until eventually she ran out of patience and reluctantly agreed to finally share the whole story with me. Here's what I discovered. A few years ago, Elaine was out at a party when one of her male friends did something rather outrageous. This friend would casually walk up to a random woman, blurt out a few words in her ear, and then would walk back to his table. Within a few minutes, these same women started approaching him with their phone numbers. Many hugged him, and one even forced a kiss right on his lips. Shocked and baffled by what she saw, Elaine literally nagged this guy to explain how he managed to do that. He told Elaine that he's been studying hypnosis for many years and uses something called hypnotic suggestions, which is nothing more than a collection of simple hot words that set off a chain of emotional responses in the brain. These suggestions have such a hypnotic effect on the human brain that they can make anyone do almost anything you command and makes anyone accept suggestions that they would otherwise reject. They even spark up any emotion you want someone to feel. Emotions such as curiosity, desire, attraction, and even deep love. It was an extremely simple process too. This man just casually dropped these tiny little suggestions in his usual conversation, and within minutes, women felt pulled and found it extremely hard to resist him. Elaine learned quite a few of these hypnotic suggestions from his friend and discovered its true power almost by accident. She was on a date with a new guy, and within the first 10 minutes, she noticed that he was shuffling his feet uncomfortably and was itching to run off. He then hurriedly emptied his drink in one gulp and said, I have a feeling that we might never get along." This statement filled Elaine with terrible fear, and in a sudden frenzy, she tried one of the hypnotic suggestions on him. Almost immediately, there was a flicker of surprise on this man's face, and Elaine could feel his resistance weakening. As a few more minutes passed by, Elaine was shocked and speechless because this same man was now staring at her with an insane level of fascination. Now, he was even chattier than ever and complimented her throughout the night. He even told Elaine that she had a very sensuous smile and even explicitly said that she was his type of woman. Then as the night came to an end, he held her hand in the most warm and comfortable grip, and as she hugged him goodbye, he clung to her as if he wanted the moment to last forever. The very next day, this same man called Elaine and told her that he was so eager and anxious to hear back from her that he couldn't stop staring at his phone all night and was desperate to see her again. Excited by all this, Elaine did more research and learned that these hypnotic suggestions are backed by proper scientific facts, as they're known to trigger the pleasure centers of the human brain. Every man has secret pleasure centers in his brain, which, when activated, will lead to feelings of extreme euphoria, attraction, love, and desire towards any woman who triggers it. After 2 years of burning her mind through this, Elaine had squeezed out every hypnotic suggestion that was tested, verified, and proven to trigger a fire of attraction within men, and compiled a complete guidebook of hypnotic suggestions and started calling it Emotional Hook Formulas because of how intensely it hooked a man's emotions. As she continued to use more of these hypnotic suggestions over the next few days, many men found themselves crazy and desperate for her, almost like hungry wolves with raging appetites. For Elaine, this was such a terribly amazing sensation that in her hysteria of enthusiasm, she ended up sharing this story with all her close friends. Actually, she bragged. She bragged outrageously and shamelessly to all who listened. Within no time, this was all over the female gossip circuit. Elaine became the talk of the town, and everyone was eager and excited to know her secret. Women loaded up their machine guns of questions and fired them at Elaine non-stop. They did it face-to-face, over the phone, and even through email. As much as Elaine wanted to keep it a secret, she had no choice but to share her special tricks with these women. Elaine first shared it with a close friend who was bordering on a massive breakdown because her relationship was entering its 7th year and her boyfriend still wasn't ready to marry her. This friend had kept her cool all these years, and she actually needed him to propose more than she needed to breathe. She casually used Elaine's rapid commitment suggestion on her boyfriend, and suddenly, her boyfriend told her that he wanted his world to begin and end with her and asked her to be his wife. Elaine shared something called the rejection flip-flop suggestion with another friend whose boyfriend walked out of her life straight into the arms of another woman. The moment this friend used this suggestion on her ex, he left her a voicemail which said, "I miss holding you, and honestly being without you is just tough. I messed up big time. Please give me another chance." Next, Elaine shared something called the attraction lock-in suggestion with a 53-year-old woman who was terrified and in shock because her husband wanted to divorce her. On the 4th day after using this hypnotic suggestion, he snuck up from behind, wrapped his arms around her and said, "You are the most caring, kind, and wonderful woman I know. You are the love of my life, and I'll never leave you." And Elaine also shared something called the sizzling desire suggestion with a woman who always felt that she was too boring, too ugly, a little too fat, and felt no better than a used, thrown-away tissue. Elaine pushed this woman to go on a date and used this hypnotic suggestion on her date. Within the first few minutes, this woman felt completely out of place and assumed her date was going horribly wrong, but was completely lost for words when her date said, "I really enjoyed my time with you, and honestly, you're the most charming woman I've met in a long time. I don't know what else to say, but I hope you give me a chance to see you again." And success stories kept churning out at a dangerously rapid pace, and her list of students kept rising. But then Elaine told me that she was awfully tired of the hassle. Sure, she derived a lot of satisfaction by helping these women, but she was also completely exhausted and didn't have any time to herself. In fact, she casually suggested that her plan was to take no more than one client per week. Hearing this literally made my internal organs twinge with pain because I needed her to let me use her secrets to help my own clients. So I offered her the best solution I could think of at the time. I told her to turn this into an online course, as that way she would be able to help a lot more women, and this would also free up a lot of her time. In fact, I volunteered to do all the work myself, and after 9 months of hard work, we had a complete user manual and called it the Emotional Hook Formulas. But at this point, there was another big problem, and I'll tell you that story in a moment. But since you're here, you have a rare opportunity to get access to the complete Emotional Hook Formula online course. And honestly, this is so damn simple, so effortless, and so easy that within a few minutes from now, you'll be able to make that one special man or any man feel drawn to you in a way you've never seen before. Plus, you don't need to be young. You don't need to have superhuman intelligence, and you definitely don't need to look like a cover girl with a sleek figure and luscious long legs. Elaine is well past her prime and shamelessly admits that she doesn't have that youthful appeal anymore, and she doesn't even care about that because she's still able to be the center of attention for any man she points her finger at, especially the younger ones. Here's just a small taste of what you're about to discover. Do you know that you can make any man desire you more than he has desired any woman before by using the sizzling desire suggestion? This will make his mind go blank, and something inside him will scream that you're the only one for him. He'll be so hooked that everything you do will just make him fall a little more in love with you. Are you stuck with a man who isn't ready to marry you? Use my rapid commitment suggestion on him today and watch how he suddenly wishes to have his whole world begin and end with you. His only desire will be to wake up next to you every day for the rest of his life, and he will obsessively plot and plan on how and where he is going to propose to you. Did you recently meet a new man and obsessively wonder if he likes you or worry if he has more options? Use my obsession booster suggestion and watch how he suddenly feels that you're the most precious woman that he's ever known, and watch as he constantly looks for reasons to see you, meet you, and spend more time with you. I'll also show you my attraction lock-in suggestion, which permanently secures any man in a feeling of never-ending attraction for you, even if you've just met him. The very idea of being around you will make his knees tremble, and he'll go so crazy in desire that he'll pick up the phone a dozen times to call you just to hear your voice. Are you staying up at night because you fear he'll run into the arms of another woman? I'll show you how to make him feel deep, thirsting love for you by using my magnetic bonding suggestion. Now he will desire to be next to you from sunrise to sunset, and the very idea of other women will evaporate from his mind like water in the sun. Do you know about the emotional bankruptcy suggestion? This makes a man treat you like a rare gem that he must care for with a passionate intensity. He'll feel so over his head in love with you that he won't feel at ease until he lets you know how much he appreciates every breath, every word, every hug and kiss you share with him. Do you know that you can make a guy do almost anything for you by using the endless cherish suggestion? This will make him love every bit of you from your head all the way down to your toes. He'll try to make you smile all the time. He'll pull out chairs, open doors, and will treat you like the most desired woman in the whole wide world. Do you feel unworthy and hopeless because he only sees you as a fling and nothing more? Don't worry. Use the emotional gravity suggestion and watch how he suddenly wants you to be the last woman he ever kisses and keeps telling you that you two are meant to be together. He won't do it just with his words. You will actually feel this desire in his eyes, his body, and his every little gesture around you. Do you know that you can make him embarrassingly lovesick for you by using the internal radar suggestion? This helps you sense his internal signals and possess his emotions in a way where just hearing your voice alone will cause his heart to beat faster and his mind will carry thoughts of you wherever he'd go. Did you get rejected? Use my rejection flip-flop suggestion on him and watch how he just can't have enough of looking at you as if he's never seen you before in his life. Suddenly, you will mean so much more to him. He will long to be next to you, to touch you, to hold you, and will make you feel like the most glamorous, sexy, and precious woman he's ever come across. Is he playing hot and cold? Use my emotional baking method and watch how he suddenly grabs you firmly, leans over to your ear and whispers, "I need you and just want to be near you all the time. I don't want to keep my hands off you and can't imagine a day without having you by my side." I'll also show you how to create an unexplainable spark of emotions within any man by using the love bubbling suggestion. This makes him feel that you're his ultimate dream come true, and he will hungrily look forward to loving you and receiving your love. He will want to rest your head on his chest and cuddle with you in his arms every chance he would get. Has your ex moved on and is dating someone else now? Don't worry. My breakup blaster suggestion will delete all unwanted history from his memory, and he will desperately need more of you in his life than ever before. Within no time, he will feel this weird, uncomfortable loneliness which won't leave him alone unless he breaks up with that new woman and gets back with you. Are you sick and tired of never hearing back from a man after a first date? I'll show you my attraction loop suggestion, which will make any man feel that you are everything he wished for, hoped for, searched for, and imagined all rolled up in one. Within the first few minutes of using this, he will start seeing a movie in his head playing back scenes of you and him being together, loving each other, and he will crave to make you his forever. Honestly, there's simply too much for me to cover here. I could go on for another 6 hours, and that still won't be enough to cover every amazing thing you're going to learn in this course. So now the question of the moment is, are you ready? Are you ready to see that one special man become so hungry and thirsty for your love that he can't think of a more delightful woman than you and finds you more valuable than all the wonders of the universe taken together? Is that something you'd like to see? Since you're still here, I know the answer is definitely yes. Usually, you'd have to shell out $400 an hour to get personal lessons from Elaine. Now, I don't want to shock you, but you might or might not be able to get this program, and this has to do with the big problem I mentioned earlier. When Elaine agreed to do this, she had a major concern, which was she didn't want this information to land in anyone's hands, and as a result, wanted to keep the price of this system at $400. This was the only way she would be able to keep it away from the reach of just anyone, especially when she already had a massive waiting list of women wanting to throw money at her. But a part of me wasn't ready to do that, because I wanted to make it as affordable as possible, and that's when I did something evil. I told Elaine that I'll only be a part of this as long as she agrees to do something about the price, or else we might have to call the whole thing off. Seeing all the work she had put into this, she thought long and hard, but much against her will, I convinced her to do something really, really outrageous, but only if I agreed to her small condition. The condition was this: she was only going to do this for a very short amount of time and for the first few women only. So here's what it's all about. Elaine and I have decided that you aren't going to pay $400 for this program. You aren't even going to pay $200. In fact, as crazy as this sounds, you can have the complete Emotional Hook Formula course right now for only $97. But wait, if you promise to act right now, which means by the end of this very video, I'll knock off another 50% and you can have the whole course for a one-time only payment of just $47. Yes, that's correct. You get it all for a one-time payment of only $47. You save $353 from the original $400 price tag, and that's a colossal 90% discount. And honestly, I want you to have it all without risking a single penny. Here's how it works. Download the Emotional Hook Formula program right now and casually try it out on any man of your choice. Then watch as he suddenly tells you how he adores you and every part of you. Watch how he shamelessly admits that you're all he's ever wanted and desired out of life. If over the next 60 days you don't notice that almost any man you desire feels drawn to you like iron filings to a magnet, or you don't like the program for any reason, although I know that is never going to happen, I want you to send me an email and I'll happily and graciously offer you a full, no questions asked refund, and I'll still thank you for at least giving it a try. I know this sounds like financial suicide, and as dangerous as it seems, Elaine can indeed go absolutely broke with a guarantee like this. But both her and I know that will never happen, because she knows that the moment you see this system and try it out on a man, you'd go absolutely bonkers with excitement. But if you're still not fully convinced, then let me sweeten the deal even more by giving you 3 super bonuses once you invest in the Emotional Hook Formula program right now.
First, you'll get the Mind Phrases Report, which is worth $37 in value. Would you like a man to obey, satisfy, and fulfill your every request? Discover how to use clever emotional phrases to rapidly transfer thoughts and feelings from your mind directly into any man's mind. Just try this on him today and watch how swiftly your request travels into his mind and changes into tiny little sparks of motivation and impulses, which alert his body to fulfill your request like his life depends on it. Now he will desire to endlessly pamper you every opportunity he gets. Next, you'll get the Emotion Buildup Report, worth $37 in value once again. Here you'll learn how to trigger intense feelings and emotions of addictive love within any man, which drives him crazy to have you nearer to him and love him. And I'll also show you my insider technique on how to trigger massive emotional urgency within any man's mind. This process makes any man obsessively think, miss, and crave you like never before. And finally, you'll get the Intense Addiction Report, worth $37 as well. Here, I'll show you how to hook a man for life and trigger intense feelings inside him that'll make him want to be your everything, your friend, your caretaker, your lover, and more importantly, your man for life. Spending time with you will turn into the most important priority of his life, and when he isn't with you, he'll think about you. When you don't call, he'll feel sad and he'll plan, wish, and hope for a bright future with you and only you. Good enough? Okay, so now it's time to do some basic calculations.
You're getting the main Emotional Hook Formula program worth $400,
plus the Mind Phrases Report, Emotion Buildup Report, and the Intense Addiction Report worth $37 each, which comes to a combined total of $111 for 3 bonus reports. If you add up the main program and the bonuses, you're getting almost $511 worth of products for a one-time only investment of $47. That is a massive 90% discount, and you're saving a colossal $464. But wait, you know how I said you might or might not be able to get this program? Let me tell you what I meant. If you scroll down this page and see an Add to Cart button, then it means that your slot is still open and you still have a chance to get access to this program. However, if you want to decide some other time and are planning on coming back later, then you will probably lose your spot to the next person in line. It's very possible that when you come back to this page at a later time, all the available slots will be filled and you might miss out on your opportunity to have this course forever. So, if you can see an Add to Cart button below this video, here's what you need to do now. Simply click the Add to Cart button below and we'll guide you through the whole checkout process. We accept credit card, debit card, or PayPal, and the whole process is extremely simple and completely safe because our payment processor, ClickBank, uses a secure server which keeps your information completely confidential and secure. In fact, it's far more secure than using your credit card at a restaurant. Once you enter your payment details, you'll be instantly taken to a download page where you'll be given immediate access to the complete
Emotional Hook Formula program along with the bonuses.
Good enough? All right. Now we're at a stage where you need to make a choice, and you have only 2 choices. The first choice. Leave this page. Completely forget everything you heard or saw.
Assume I never told you about Emotional Hook Formula and let the next person take your available slot.
By doing this, you've consciously chosen to make your life extremely harsh and difficult because you might never get the love, appreciation, and attention you desire from men. You might never get to experience what it feels like to have a man completely obsessed, devoted, and loyal to you. Sounds awful, right? Well, it doesn't have to be, because you could make the completely painless, smart, and the most correct choice, which is the second choice,
by clicking the Add to Cart button below and enrolling in the Emotional Hook Formula program right now.
Once you do that, you can finally sit back, relax, and enjoy as any man you use these stories on feels a deep and compulsive level of love for you. And you understand that you have full 60 days to test drive this program. Therefore, you are at absolutely zero risk. The whole course is extremely fun and ridiculously easy. I am serious. You won't even have to put much effort into it. Even if you go through just one of the chapters, I promise that you'll be able to make any man feel like the luckiest and happiest person in the world to be around you. And honestly, if you're thinking about coming back to this offer some other time, then you'll be kicking yourself with regret for many years to come, because you might not be able to get it at all. In fact, here are 3 huge reasons why you absolutely must act right now. Reason number 1, you don't have to shell out $400 per hour like other women have to, and you're actually getting everything for $47, which is a little fraction of the price everyone else had to pay, and on top of that, you're getting 3 super bonuses worth $111 just for acting right now. Reason number 2, you basically aren't losing anything because Elaine is accepting all of the risk on your behalf. Heck, she's actually letting you proudly take advantage of her by letting you test drive this system for full 60 days. Will you lose anything with this? Absolutely not, because she has you covered on literally every corner. Reason number 3, the biggest reason why I think you just can't afford to delay this even one more second is because Elaine is going to keep this offer live only for the first few women. She'll have to close this offer sooner or later. Once again, since you're still viewing this, it means that your unique slot is still active, and if you leave this page right now, it will probably be given to the next person, and you might not be able to get access to this program at all. And honestly, it's never a good idea to gamble with your love life. I mean, an average person gets to live only 28,000 days. Time will continue to fly by, and trying to find the answers yourself is just plain silly. I've known women who spent many years on a particular guy, changed their life around, and literally gave up their soul expecting little scraps of love and affection, but never received anything in return. And I've also known women who barely try, who don't even have to lift a finger and are still able to make any man willingly and easily fall into their lap. Do you know the difference?
The difference is the knowledge of these hypnotic suggestions,
And it only requires a few minutes of your time. Listen, the major work has been done for you. The only work you have to do is to follow the Add to Cart button below and enroll in this program right now. I know I've said a lot, but let me just say one final thing. In whatever little time we've had together, I've shown you 3 very important things. The first thing, I've shown you
that by using simple hypnotic suggestions, you can easily make any man see you as the single most important thing in the world and win him over almost instantaneously. The second thing, I've also shown you that these hypnotic suggestions are called emotional hook formulas, and you can get access to them literally 5 minutes from now by clicking the Add to Cart button below.
And finally, the third thing, you also understand and agree
That these formulas don't really need you to do any hard work. The only work you have to do is use these formulas on a man and then sit back and watch how he suddenly treats you like a precious flower who he must care for and protect for the rest of his life.
So now, since you agree with all these points, don't you think it's a good idea to at least try out this program? I mean, what do you have to lose anyway? With the risk-free guarantee, you get 60 full days to test drive this program. Therefore, you have absolutely nothing to lose. Look, I really wish I could make this decision for you, but I can't.
Honestly, I could keep on babbling about how amazing these emotional hook formulas are, but the only way you'd ever know it is when you actually see them for yourself. Therefore, follow the Add to Cart button below, and I'll see you inside.